I've been having such a hard time lately. Just struggling to stay clean and everything.
A church gives a pizza delivery guy a $700 tip.
It just really, truly amazes me that people that don't even know me just wanted to help me out that much.
Hear how this act of generosity set him free on today's 700 Club Interactive. Well, welcome to the show. If you've ever worked a job that involved getting tips, you know a big tip can make your day. But can it change your life? Well, for one pizza delivery guy in Mentor, Ohio, his tips were underwhelming, typically $3 to $5. So you can imagine how he felt when a church gave him a $700 tip.
Well, when Jeff Lewis returned to his car after receiving that tip of a lifetime, he picked up his phone and recorded the following message. You're about to see why this video has been viewed almost 18 million times.
So I just feel the need to share this with everybody. So I work for a pizza place, obviously. Pretty much all of you know this. And we don't open until 12 o'clock today, but I was asked to come in a little bit early for a delivery. So I came in, and right as I got in, we loaded up my car with the food, and I took it. And then when I got to this delivery, is to this church, and they came out to my car and they're like, take one pizza out of the 7 or 8 pizzas that they ordered, and they're like, bring it up to the pastor on stage. And I was like all like weirded out, like, why? Like, this is so weird. And the most amazing thing happened. This whole church came up and gave me over $700 for a tip. It's just truly amazing. I've been having such a hard time lately. Just struggling to stay clean and everything. And I'm just trying to get my life back. And it just really, truly just amazes me that people that don't even know me just wanted to help me out that much. Blessed.
What a story. Well, here's the backstory on that. The pastor of, I want to get this right, Life Point Church, I love this, in Mentor, Ohio. That works. Pastor Ken Wright wanted to give a sermon on unity, and so one of his visible points in his message was that he said, we're going to order a pizza today, and we're going to give the pizza delivery guy $100. Well, then Jeff Lewis is the guy delivering the pizza. He gets up there and spur of the moment, the pastor just says, is there anyone else in the church who'd like to join me in tipping Jeff today? And people just got out of their chairs and started coming up while Jeff is standing there. You can imagine the poor guy probably wondered, what in the world is going on? First of all, that I'm standing on this stage in a church, don't know any of these people. And then he proceeded to just be amazed as people came up and gave and gave and gave, and $1 each, and blessed him on that Sunday morning in a way that changed his life.
It did change his life, and you wonder what was going on. How were things arranged that it would be him? How would things be arranged that here is overwhelming generosity? I mean, on biblical proportions, to say we want to encourage one another to do outbursts of love. So all of that's happening, and here he is, and here's an update on Jeff. What happened afterwards is he took that video. That video went viral, and I think 16 million, 18 million have seen it.
People viewed it.
And one of the persons seeing it happened to run a drug rehab facility in California. And drug rehab is expensive. And what they said is, we will take care of all the expenses. We will fly you from Ohio to California. And they put him through the treatment program, and now it's wonderful. He has 152 days clean.
Wow.
And then on top of it, and we got a picture of it, here he is out in California. He is now an intern, working as an intern in that same rehabilitation center. So talk about a changed life, all from an inspiration to say, we want to be outrageously generous, and we want to do it randomly. We're just going to call and get the pizza guy up here and to find out his backstory, and then not only the backstory, but now the miracle story of here he is, clean, sober, drug-free, and you're going, yay, God.
What's so interesting about this is from start to finish, as it is in life for most of us, we think we have a great idea. And we think we're going to make a difference, and we think it's all about this point time. And it was a God thing from the beginning to the end.
Only God could have orchestrated it. I mean,
you
look at, okay, here's the inspiration to the pastor, and then I imagine a lot of pastors given that idea will go, that's a little nutty. I'm not sure, will the church go along? And then the church went along with it.
Well,
and not just went along with it, but was outrageously generous.
That the driver was Jeff.
Right.
That he was working that day. That the person who saw it online happened to run a drug rehab. I mean, it's just fraught with God from beginning to end. Unbelievable.
Well, we hope that kind of giving is spreading, and churches are becoming more creative, finding new ways to bless people in their community. At Crosspoint Church in Nashville, Pastor Pete Wilson started the Dollar Club. He says a small gift of $1 can impact people in a big way.
Everybody can make a difference. It's not about, equal gifts, it's about equal sacrifice. And so if we could help people understand that just with if a single dollar can make that big of a difference in somebody's life, what could happen in our community? What could happen in this city if we all started to understand what generosity looked like and we pulled our resources together to impact the kingdom? So the Dollar Club is basically this idea where everybody in our church comes together and they give $1. And we put it all into like one big pool together. And we take that money and we just go out in our community and we just bless somebody with it. We just do something like that can really literally change somebody's life. And that's why we make it $1. We want it to be tangible. We want everybody to feel like they can participate and be a part of it. A pastor friend of mine was actually doing something similar at his church. And I love the idea of it. Again, just the accessibility that it had where everybody could participate in it. My favorite Dollar Club experience is probably our last one. We did one at Christmas. That was really cool, where we just went around our community doing kind of random acts of kindness. We spent half a day at a grocery store just buying people's groceries. Then we went to a gas station and we just bought people gas. We went to a Christmas tree lot and bought Christmas trees for people. We were able to kind of pull this whole scheme off where we were partnering with a local police station and helping people buy Christmas presents for their kids. And I think the difference was it really inspired people to say, you know what, I could do that. Like I could go and I could buy somebody's groceries, or I could go and I could buy somebody a tank of gas. And it's probably my favorite because what I saw was people started to take this on as their own. And it was no longer just a program in our church. It was a lifestyle to be lived out. And people started going out in the community and just doing just great things for people. And it was a pretty cool experience. We have opportunities every single day to just kind of open our eyes and see opportunities around us where we can express the love of Jesus in very tangible ways. I think that for me, that was probably the biggest impact. It didn't change how I viewed Jesus, it changed how I wanted to express his love every single day.
Opportunities are all around us if we'll just open our eyes. And this echoes what Jesus says, lift up your heads and see the field is white to harvest. How you can absolutely change a life, and not just here temporarily and tangibly with relief and help for them, but eternally, to let them know that God loves them and we love them too. It's a wonderful thing.
It's really, I think it's also very empowering to us as the children of God. There's something in seeing that on a regular basis and watching the joy of the person receiving and knowing you had a hand in it. I mean, it's really a pretty powerful thing. So unity.
I like anything that gets the church outside of a building. And whether that's a mission trip or supporting outreach in the community, but when people physically go themselves to say, I want to be a part of this, and you're bonded together as a group, and it's learning. You learn how to do it, you learn what to do, you learn what is appropriate. It's not some static thing, but it's growing and evolving, and it's absolutely wonderful.
One of the things I loved as we watched that last video of this all being transacted in various ways was how the people talked to the person they were doing this for. I mean, they didn't just anonymously do it. I mean, there was coming together and a relational thing happening there that was pretty special. So great opportunities for us to do this in our own lives as well. Well, still ahead, it's a necessity of life, and yet over 1 billion people don't have access to it.
What moves me the most is to think about mothers losing their children because of something that we could take care of.
Watch one church bring water to the world when we come back. When a church in Mesquite, Texas heard how many children were dying from a lack of clean water, they wanted to do something about it. So they teamed up with CBN to build water wells.
Every 20 seconds, one child dies because they don't have access to safe drinking water. It's a troubling number that touched the heart of Pastor Rod Brewer of Family Cathedral Church in Mesquite, Texas.
What moves me the most is to think about mothers losing their children because of something that we could take care of.
Pastor Brewer reached out to CBN to find out how his church could be a part of the solution. For nearly 2 decades, over 6.2 million people have benefited from more than 15,000 wells built by CBN.
CBN has the personnel, projects, and equipment already in place. So by working together, we can both accomplish more on less. If a church has a dream, a desire to do something, chances are CBN is already there doing the heavy lifting, and by coming together, we can both accomplish more.
Pastor Brewer learned that one well could give desperate communities the clean water they need to survive and thrive.
We threw it around the staff, and the next thing you know, we came up with this vision. We were going to do 25 wells over the next year.
With each well costing $1,800, they would need commitment and support from the congregation. On World Water Day in 2015, Pastor Brewer and church leaders made their appeal. The staff handed out bottles of dirty drinking water to see for themselves what millions have to drink every day.
And we really broke it down all the way down to the single moms could participate if they gave $3 a week. And so we put value on, no matter what your social status is, no matter what your financial status is, we put value on you getting on board and playing your part.
The church responded.
So as they came down and gave their commitment cards, we had mock water wells up with water buckets around them, and everybody came to the altar and put their commitment cards in the bucket.
After counting the cards, the staff was astonished. That day, the church gave more than enough to surpass their goal of 25 wells.
It's kind of one of those moments, we realized we had shot way too low and God was capable of so much more than what we had dreamed about.
I was beside myself. I had to take off running. So I was so excited, and it was a wonderful, joyous Sunday morning as we knew that we were on our way to go exceeding what we had planned to do for the world.
By the end of the year, the church sponsored 75 wells to be constructed in several countries. A wall at the sanctuary entrance puts their giving in perspective. A drop of water for each well. Also, photos and testimonies of the people they've helped.
Lord, we give God all of the glory, and it's exciting to know that this church on the other side of the world has literally saved thousands of lives of not only little kids, but young people, men and women, and the boys and the girls. But that's a very exciting thing, and not a temporary thing, but an ongoing thing.
The church says partnership with CBN made their vision a reality.
I would challenge any church listening to what we're sharing today. Pastors, get a vision. Maybe just start with one well. It may take you a year to build one well, but you know what? At the end of the day, it'll be a good thing. It'll be a good thing. You will save lives.
A local church going beyond its walls and above the limits to provide clean, safe water for those in need.
Well, I think personally my response is just a thankfulness for God just doing exceedingly abundantly above all that we could ask or think or even imagine.
You know, Gordon was talking a moment ago about seeing the church come out of the building. And in this scenario, and in so many active churches like it, we are seeing the world touched by people who are challenged to care about people they'll probably never meet. And when we talk about unity, which seems to be something that's heavy on our agenda today as we look at what God's doing around the world, that partnership between that church and CBN is what made it all happen. We have offices around the world. We have feet on the ground. So when a church is willing to partner with us, the job gets done, and it gets done really well. We'd love to have you be a part of that. You know, water is life. Every one of us need it, and so many people around the world don't have it. I think it's a great idea to keep that bottle of dirty water in front of you to remind you of what most of the world is drinking today. If you'd like to be a part of making a difference, you partner with us, unify with us. Our number to call is 1-888-777-1999, or you can log on to 700clubinteractive.com. If you or your church would like to sponsor a well, we'd love to partner with you to make that happen. You can call 877-34-WELLS or go to cbn.com/waterwells to find out more. Join the 700 Club if you want to be a part of all that we're doing around the world. Water wells is one of the things that we do, but we're doing many, many other things. Micro-enterprise opportunities for families. We're providing homes for people who don't have homes or who have been through all kinds of national disasters. Natural disasters, and we want to say be a part of that. Superbook is bringing the gospel to the children around the world in their language. When you join the 700 Club, we want to send you Pat's latest teaching. It's called Heaven, What God Has Prepared for Those Who Love Him. You're going to be blessed by this. Real accounts of people who've had death experiences, seen heaven, and come back to tell about it. We want you to hear that, and also what Pat has to share from the scripture about it. So 65 cents a day, $20 a month makes you a 700 Club member. That means you're a part of everything that we do around the world. Call now, 1-888-777-1999. Still ahead, a thrilling page-turner about the very first murder. Brennan McPherson takes us into his debut novel, Cain, when we come back.
Well, it's history's first sibling rivalry, a jealous older brother taking his rage out on his younger sibling. And it's also history's first murder. The story of Cain and Abel has been told for thousands of years, and is being retold in the new book by author Brennan McPherson, whose family usually writes things of a different nature.
Brennan McPherson is Vice President for the Salvation Poem Foundation. Every episode of CBN's animated series Superbook ends with the Salvation Poem, sung by a young vocalist in the viewer's native language. The poem has been translated into more than 50 languages and sung in more than 37 languages. Now he's used his writing talents in his novel, Cain. He tells the story of the first murder in the Bible and the birth of an unstoppable evil.
Well, Brennan McPherson joins us now, and Brennan, this is a departure for you. You've been involved with the Salvation Poem. You've been involved in putting together children's literature, distributing books around the world. Why the departure? Why this?
I've always been a huge fan of storytelling. Just remember watching The Lord of the Rings growing up and thinking, you know what, I want to tell stories. This is just cool. I mean, it's such a powerful way to communicate truth. It really it takes us out of ourselves and helps us to think about things in a new way.
Well, what is it about the Cain and Abel story? I hear that you've been fascinated with this story since you were young.
It really, I think, for me, it was so odd. Because here's the first family, and you'd think they were perfect, right? They were great, so they'd be in unity with each other. But you find this terrible disharmony. Cain does this terrible deed, killing his brother, and fractures the family. So what was that like for them? What was that like for Cain and Abel and Adam and Eve?
Well, in the book, you get into this is the birth of a terrible evil. What do you mean by that?
Well, we see in Adam's decision that his sin, the effects of it, ripples through all of history. And in the same way, I kind of wanted to mirror that in his son's decision and show how Adam's decision rolled off onto Cain's decision. And there's just kind of this snowballing effect of sin throughout history. And our sinful nature, it can't be stopped until the last Adam with Jesus.
In your book, how do you deal with the fact that God is still speaking to Cain?
Yeah.
He's just murdered his brother.
Yeah.
And, it's just an incredible conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like he's not mad at him.
No. He sees, I think, the story of Cain and Abel for me is one of the most powerful presentations of God's mercy. Because here Cain kills his brother, lies to God's face, and God still gives him protection. And I think that was because he wanted to win Cain's heart. And for me, that became really powerful because I see myself and all of us really in Cain, in just the human nature, the sin nature as shown through his actions.
Yeah, the whole thing that's crouching by the door,
yeah,
waiting to devour us.
Yeah,
and we get it in our head that somehow God has to be mad.
Yeah, we do.
We judge ourselves. God has to be mad at me for what I've just done.
Yeah.
He can't ever. I can't forgive myself, so there's no way that God will forgive me.
Right.
And we lose sight of. No, He's still there.
Yeah.
He absolutely still wants to talk to us.
Yeah.
He'll still receive us. He'll
Yep.
still forgive us, and He wants that relationship. You've gone extra biblical in this.
Yep.
It's a short story in the Bible. It's a couple of verses, and you've taken it into a whole novel, and you have a redemption story at the end of it.
Yeah.
What is that? How do you bring Cain back?
You mean just how do I show him as being, a figure who may find redemption? Really, I think it was, as I was writing it, I started, of course, like I said, seeing myself in Cain. And the idea of Jesus, the Christ coming, he's prophesied as coming in Genesis, in the garden with Eve and Adam. So I wanted to show how Jesus was present through all of this story. He was planned even before Cain was born, and he was there, and his sacrifice matters for him too.
Can you give viewers a hint as to how you end this and how that, or do you say, no, you got to go back out and get the book?
I'd say, that's hard. Maybe just get the book.
All right, we'll leave you with a cliffhanger then. You have a whole series in mind. This is the first.
Yeah.
And where are you going with the series?
For the rest of the series, it's going to go all the way up to Genesis 11 with the Tower of Babel. So the second book I'm working on right now is about the flood.
So you're gonna take us into Noah.
Yep.
And his whole, and then you're going to, I assume you're going to do it on Nimrod.
Yep.
The mighty hunter. Give us a glimpse into that world.
Yep. Well, I I haven't quite plotted out the third book yet, but for the second book, I'm getting really excited about it. It's kind of the story of more of a reluctant prophet. You know, Noah kind of going through a lot of struggles and being more of a conflicted person. But then in the end, you know, honoring God with his decisions, and kind of how he comes to be there.
You're going to go into his dysfunctional family?
Yes. Yep.
And is that going to be comfort for all of us? Because all of us come to one degree to another from some kind of dysfunction. You look at any family, you can spot a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Dysfunction, but then also finding, you know, the points of unity in the families. And for Cain, you know, he didn't really have much of it. But in the end, I wanted to show that there was still love there. It was a complicated dynamic.
That's a surprising twist. I've always wondered what about Noah convinced his family to join him in a boat?
Yeah.
How did he pull that one off?
Yeah.
I have a hard enough time convincing my kids to go on vacation with us. and here he's going to say, no, we're all going to get locked up into this boat
with stinky
on dry
animals.
land.
Yeah.
And with a bunch of animals. And you know, how in the world did he pull that one off? How did he do that?
Yeah.
All right. Well, the book, it's called Cain, The Story of the First Murder and the Birth of Unstoppable Evil. It's available on Amazon, so if you want to order a copy, it's out now. So go ahead and do that. Brennan, thank you. Thank you for your partnership with the Salvation Poem.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you guys. We leave with this word from Luke, give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. I encourage you today, be the church outside the walls. Go out there and find somebody that you can be generous to. God bless you. We'll see you again.